Kanatige, kanairini tige, mogo chama ya kanudoniri ni koroko fuye. Kanatige, kanairini tige, mogo chama ya kanudoniri ni koroko fuye. Serete tamen.
Hi everyone and welcome to my channel and welcome for the newcomers. There was a documentary I watched and it was interesting. The documentary shows the students of these countries how do they live, how do they experience, what is their approach or their experience with the social media. With TikTok. They saw that the Chinese student only spend 42 or 45 minutes a day, I think a day on TikTok. And they looked at the other community, the other students, the teenagers, most of them in other countries, in Europe, in America, spend more hours in front of TikToks. These teenagers and even children, when the people who are doing this research, they try to see what the Chinese students were watching, Chinese teenager and children were watching on TikTok. So the government has a program for them, make them that when they watch TikTok, they have a different thing that they can watch on TikTok. On TikTok, they watch patriotism. The government teach them patriotism. They also watch people who are teaching them science, and that's pretty much all what they watch on TikTok. When the same people who are doing the report, the documentary, they went to countries like France, America, they've watched that it's non-stop hours in front of TikTok. Now, when they ask the kids in China, the Chinese children, they ask them, what is your dream to become tomorrow? How do you envision the future? The Chinese children say, I'm dreaming to be an astronaut. I'm dreaming to go to the moon. To go to the moon for real, okay? For real. You know what I mean, okay? I dream to go to the moon. I dream to do this. I dream to be an engineer. I dream to be this and that. The same people went back and went to countries like France and America. Africa is catastrophic already, and you know that. I'm not talking trash about Africa, but I will show you how we are the last on the ladder. Okay? They went to a country like France and they asked the kids, what is your dream? The kids say, I want to be an influencer. Same thing they saw with the American and African for sure. It raised a lot of concern, of course. I know that people have been talking a lot about TikTok, but it shows something. It tells you Africans is already for entertainment. We know that if you are on TikTok, don't go on TikTok just because you want to. Try also to observe the quality of the content and the people who are posting on the content on TikTok, and try to compare, okay? Try to see and you have an idea of the people mindset and how they see. You see that on TikTok, most of the Asian, the Chinese themselves, they use TikTok for business. Most of the time they sell. You see them always selling something. Those who are like in the European side, American, it depends on which part, because America is a continent. Okay, we have to explain that. Those from the United States, they have some type of content, and I saw that when before Donald Trump came in power, there were things saying that there were rumors saying that they want to close TikTok, and the TikTok was kind of one off in the United States. And I think that the other part of the world, like the Commonwealth people and everything, were still using TikTok. And then when the Americans from the US came back on TikTok, you remember what they said? They say, "Oh no, they're back." Well, no, they don't want it. It means that, I don't know, there is something that maybe they didn't like about the content of some of the American who are on the TikTok. But usually, most of the content coming from America and coming from Europe, people talk about their thoughts. They talk about political situation in the country, usually. I don't talk about those who are expressing some feeling nonsense, who want to twerk, and I don't talk about them. Okay, I talk about decent people, okay? They talk about politics, they talk about thought, they talk about also sharing knowledge, okay? Sharing knowledge. Remember what I say, sharing knowledge, and so on. And maybe some little experiences they know, like for example, little experience that you can create at home and stuff like that, recipe or all this. The African content on TikTok is always about gossiping, like I say many times, gossiping and dancing. So it's like this woman say, it's unbelievable to see how we the African, we can waste time. And what is very special is we are the same who are saying that, oh, the world is against us. Yeah, it's true. The world is against us, maybe in a way, but we don't actually fight it that much. I am shocked to hear that some African content now, there are people on TikTok live who are showing the genitals, twerking and showing the gender. This is African, okay? So sometimes when people say, oh, African, they are still conservative, traditionalists and in their culture, it's a lie. I want to break that lie today, because sometimes I'm very exhausted with this fake idea, this fake picture that we like to portray to the world, that we are very conservative, we are very traditionalist and so on, that we are very proud of our culture. We are proud of our culture. But what we see on TikTok is not what you say, because many women now are showing a type of content that is very shocking, that, okay, the other people of the world don't do. We are Black African now are showing the genitals live on TikTok. What really shocking is like, why TikTok do not censor this account? I don't know, but it shows that there is something happening. That, yeah, in a way, yeah, we are at war with some system, but understand that they expose in a way your weakness and your shortcoming. Because if in your country people can be showing the genitals and then after playing the victim, that they are victim of racism, you know, it's exhausting. It is exhausting. And it is very special because more and more people now see who we really are. People see, sometimes people say, oh yeah, I see some African who has their way, because I have that comment as a way to kind of talk in a way condescendent about, you know, condescend that to, you know, talk in a way about the way some black Americans are living. And I will show you that you are all liars. You know why? There are some habits that they do that we are doing too. And it shows that it's the black. The bad behavior that we see everywhere is the black people in general. It's the black people. So stop always blaming others, okay? It's not always others, because sometimes you can sit and you try to see what is the problem. You try to untie to remove the tie, but then you realize that the problem is us. The problem is us. When people usually say, oh, there is a lack of father figure in the black community in America. It is true. But the truth is what? In Africa too. Yeah. Many African men leave their responsibilities. The children. You have many women who are single moms. And when I say single mom, it's not that the father is still helping. The father has abandoned the woman and the children. They start a new life, they forget about the children that they have outside. It is common in the African community. You don't know that? I'm telling you the truth. Because they want to make you feel like it's only black Americans who have this situation. Black people in general have this problem. They don't. When I was telling you about even the school, just sitting to see, we were lucky because we had parents, maybe because they come from another generation, I don't know, because they were the other generation, I don't know, who took time to read and to look our homework, okay? You are lucky. But those of my age, maybe a little bit earlier than me, older than me, many of them do not. Do not. Again, they don't care about the education of their children. The school of their children, they don't. It's a fact. I will show you something, because we like to blame we blame everybody except ourselves. And I'm telling you, God is fair. God is fair. I'm telling you, stop. Stop always using the victim card. Stop. Stop always saying that, yeah, there are cases where there are cases of racism. They are. But today, people are more and more careful. It's not like before. People try to get less and less ignorant, and people try to be careful because they know that there are laws against these people. But when you are using this racial card every time, abusive way, the real case of racism now are ignored. The real cases of racism are now ignored because of people like you who are doing too much on that. Not so long ago, you saw what happened in France. The Paris Saint-Germain, they won. They won the soccer, I think the Champions League or something like that. Okay, the Paris Saint-Germain. People were celebrating in Paris, in France. And now you have black people, you have black Africans now who admit now that it's too much. The behavior of many young black people in France, for instance, because of what I know for a fact, is too much. French people cannot take it anymore. And they are right. I talked to a French guy, a friend of mine, a French guy. We talk about that. I asked him, but I see many things that I see that the extreme right is rising in France. I tried to talk to him we tried to discuss about it. But I understand, because I even know some Africans who are fed up of African people behavior. To the point where white French don't want to see black Africans anymore. There are many immigrants, but it's always us that people cannot stand anymore. Because of what? Because of our behavior. You saw what they did in Paris. They broke the same people that have been always pointed. And even if you want to defend your people, but when you saw what they did in Paris, in France, in Paris, that night, it was unacceptable. To even find out that people even died. They broke why do you break break boutiques? People work. People work, they don't sleep. These boutiques that we see are people who are working, who work. You come because you want to celebrate your way. You break cars, you break boutiques, you break everywhere. What behavior is this? The same stereotype of people. And we say, oh, it's a stereotype, but it's a fact. It's true. Arab people and black immigrants, usually African. These are the ones who are making the mess in Paris. It is so shameful. That's not all. Okay, that's not it. It is time to call what it is. It is time to stop to be hypocrite like that. It's not helping us at all. We have bad behavior. We have bad behaviors. And what is pretty shocking is these people who are doing that in these countries. You are the same who are accusing, oh, the Europeans are eating Africa. The Europeans are making laws that break Africa. But also, okay, for them to do that in Africa, it has to be a bridge for them to allow to happen. Who are this bridge? The people that you put yourself in power. But when you put these people in power who in a way favor the system to oppress us, you run away now. You go, you take ship, you swim, you go to these countries. Or we are living. Like us, we take the plane, we are living. At least some of us say that we're not happy about the situation. But we cannot lie. We cannot lie that we have bad behaviors. It's too much. It was a shame. The side where there were white French in Paris was calm. The side where there were black Africans there, it was messy with Arab. Because yes, by the way, let me open a little parenthesis here. Like he talked to me, he said, you know what? We are exhausted of some people in France. And I understand that. These people don't want to, they want to live in France, but they don't want to learn the culture. They don't want to not only learn the culture, but they don't want to be a part of the country. And he's right. It's like they are there. They want to take advantage of these countries, but they don't feel like a part of these countries, and they don't even feel like a part of their own origin, their own native countries. It's like people, for example, who are criticizing America and being in the United States, knowing that they didn't have what they have in America. They didn't have what they have. They didn't have that in their own native country where they come from. They have nothing of that. America gave them most of the opportunity they have today, that they couldn't even envision having that in their country. But the same people are criticizing Americans in their country. I don't like it. I don't like it. If you talk about politics, I get it. Okay, I understand that their politics can be bad to other countries outside, but belittle people in their own country and something that is something I do not accept. I do not agree with this kind of behavior. Talking down on people in their own country when you didn't even have it in your own country is hypocrite. I will show you something.